You are seeing this because a person who fell in love with you is going to leave. You are not seeing this by accident, not today, not at this moment of your life. Something inside you already knows that a shift is happening, a quiet change, a feeling you can't fully explain. You feel it in your chest, in your silence, and in the moments when their name suddenly crosses your mind without warning. You are seeing this because someone who once fell deeply in love with you is slowly preparing to leave. Not loudly, not dramatically, but emotionally, spiritually, and silently. And that is the most painful kind of leaving. The strange feeling before someone leaves. Before people leave our lives, something strange happens. They don't disappear suddenly. They don't stop loving you overnight. Instead, they begin to pull away in invisible ways. Their messages feel different. Their voice sounds familiar yet distant. Their presence feels lighter, like they're already halfway gone. And you start asking yourself questions you never asked before. Why does it feel like I'm losing them even though they're still here? Why do I feel lonely even when I talk to them? Why do I sense a goodbye without hearing the word? That feeling, that ache, that quiet fear, that is not imagination. That is intuition. When someone falls in love but doesn't know how to stay. Some people fall in love deeply, but they were never taught how to stay. They were taught how to run, how to protect themselves, and how to leave before they get hurt. So even when love feels real, and even when the connection feels rare, fear starts speaking louder than the heart. They begin to think, what if I'm not enough? What if this hurts later? What if loving them means losing myself? Slowly, without meaning to, they start building distance. Not because love is gone, but because fear is winning. The sad truth, love doesn't always leave because it ends. This is something most people don't understand. Love doesn't always leave because it disappears, sometimes love leaves because it's overwhelmed. It is overwhelmed by emotions, responsibility, and intensity. You may have loved them gently. You may have loved them purely. But to someone who has never felt safe in love, even softness can feel heavy. So instead of saying, I'm scared, I don't know how to handle this, or, I don't want to hurt you, they choose silence, distance, and withdrawal. That hurts more than words ever could. Signs a person is preparing to leave. When someone is preparing to leave, they don't announce it, they reveal it through behavior. They stop asking deep questions. They stop sharing small details of their day. They stop fighting for understanding, not because they don't care, but because they're tired of feeling torn between staying and leaving. They may still say, I care, and they may still show kindness, but the effort feels limited. Your heart notices the difference before your mind does. Why this hurts so much? This hurts because you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't love too much. You didn't care too deeply. You didn't ask for anything unreasonable. You simply loved honestly. And when honest love meets someone who isn't ready, it creates pain instead of peace. You start questioning yourself, was I too emotional? Was I too available? Was I too real? No. You were just loving with your whole heart. The part they will never say out loud. Here is something they will probably never tell you, leaving you doesn't feel easy for them either. They feel guilt, confusion, and sadness. But instead of facing those emotions, they choose escape because leaving feels easier than staying and trying. That is not a reflection of your worth, that is a reflection of their emotional capacity. Why the universe is showing you this message? You are seeing this not to scare you or break you, but to prepare you. Sometimes the universe warns us gently before change arrives. It says, strengthen yourself. Detach with love. Don't lose yourself trying to hold someone who is already slipping away. You are being guided to protect your heart. What happens when you hold on too tight? When you sense someone leaving, the natural reaction is to hold tighter, to explain more, to love harder, and to prove your value. But love doesn't work like that. The more you chase someone who is pulling away, the faster they run. Not because you're wrong, but because they have already made an emotional decision. Trying to change their mind only costs you your peace. The most painful realization. One day you realize something heartbreaking: you can love someone deeply and still not be able to keep them. You can be kind, loyal, and understanding, and still be left, because love requires two people choosing each other every day, not one person holding on while the other hesitates. What you must do now. If someone is preparing to leave, your job is not to beg them to stay. Your job is to stay calm, stay dignified, and stay connected to yourself. Let them feel your absence instead of your desperation. Silence speaks louder than chasing ever will. If they leave, this is what will happen. If they leave, it will hurt. There will be nights where you replay conversations, moments where you blame yourself, and days where everything reminds you of them. But slowly, very slowly, you will start breathing again. You will rediscover parts of yourself you abandoned while loving them. And one day you will realize something powerful: you survived losing someone you thought you couldn't live without. Their leaving is not your end. This is not the end of your story, this is a turning point. Some people enter your life not to stay forever, but to teach you how deeply you can love and how strong you are when you're left alone. Their chapter may be closing, but yours is just beginning. A message for your heart. If they choose to leave, let them go with love. Don't turn pain into bitterness. Don't turn loss into self-doubt. You were real. You were sincere. You loved with courage. And that will never be something to regret. Final truth. Sometimes people who fall in love with you leave not because you weren't enough, but because they were not ready to receive what you offered. And one day, someone will stay. Someone will choose you without fear, without hesitation, and without running. Until then, choose yourself. Welcome to Daily Message. If you're curious about the hidden truths of the mind and heart, make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a fact that could change the way you see the world. The hardest part of letting go is realizing that you are not losing them, you are finding yourself. If they choose to leave, let the space they leave behind be filled with your own peace, your own dreams, and your own worth. You are your own greatest commitment. You've been watching Daily Message. To keep choosing your growth and understanding the depths of the human heart, subscribe and hit the bell icon. You are never alone on this journey.